Good morning, boys and squirrels. A day 5 agility only randomizer series finale is here. Now, if I sound a little different, it's because essentially OBS updated. And when it updated, it removed my mic altogether. And it shows my mic there, but I did not notice that my mic was not picking up my audio. So this is going to be a kind of like in the moment kind of commentary to where I'm watching it back with you and letting you know everything that's going on. So I think this was like 3 something in the morning. Of course, just like every other morning, here come a shitload of zombies just like every day. So we're out here, we're using our crossbow that we got and popping heads. 2, you can see way in the distance back there that we shoot. Fun packed filled day to day, and I really wish the commentary would have worked because it was a crazy episode, to say the least. But we get all the guys killed here. Check this side, don't see anything. But I'd officially like to welcome to day 5 of the challenge. Now, pop out here because I can hear more still. And if you can see way off in the distance, old Big Mama is a big ass running at full speed for her. We shoot her who knows how many times, and she just does not stop running, you know? So hats off to Big Mama for being a damn tank. I didn't mean to pop down, but when I did, I let out a very manly ass scream that can be heard in the echoes of time. So we jump the fence. They both lose like aggro immediately. It's kind of weird. So we were able to kind of just pop shots from a distance, and that was a practice shot. So don't worry about that one. The sneak bonus over time is insane when you think about it. Like, we're getting 5 times sneak damage, which is huge, you know? That's from not only just sneaking, but the 3 points we have into that. So what we have to do today, our first thing that we're going to do is, I mentioned it in episode 4, is we're going to head to the horde base, the location I have in mind. And we have, like, kind of specific things we want to do. So that's what we're going to start to begin the day. So we're here at the horde base location. Of course, we get here, and there's zoms right off the bat. Shot one, popped his head off, shot another, was feeling really good. Let out a ooh as I popped that bunny, and we go about our way, you know. Found another police car, of course, but we ended up checking like 8 of those 2 episodes ago, so I'm not surprised that one's checked. So I am going to make essentially a barricade on both sides, and we're going to live or defend on both sides of the bridge to where they can't get on the bridge, but we can. So this becomes more of a challenge than what I'd ever expect, because you look at it and it's like, oh, damn it, this thing didn't break. Well, we got to break all these. No big deal. Fast forward just a second, and here's me starting to put the blocks down because I broke that thing. And I go pretty quick with it, but I realize there's an issue. The damn painting lines, which when you look at it, you're like, okay, like, can you break those? Yes, you can. Can you find those? I sure as hell couldn't. I was able to find them sometimes. And you'll see right there, like, I hit one. It's only got 250 hit points, so no big deal. Just break the paint lines. Dude, the problems I had, and you'll see in a minute, I end up breaking the block under it just because, like, I cut like 30 seconds out of that, of me trying to find that damn line and just not able to do it. I don't know why. And the 2 white lines on this side, I never found. I tried for quite some time. Like, there's quite a lapse in the daytime overall, but we get it right here, and we're able to break into this and put down this first barricade after we fix our beautiful little, our hammer itself. So set that in there, and then the plan here is to get up here and make it just a 1 wide, you know, to where they can swing at us, but they can't get through. And the big thing I always wanted to do here is to make sure they couldn't get through on the sides, which ended up being way more resources, especially when I'm doing dumb stuff like this. Like, I didn't look at first. I just put it up there, like, seeing that was a 1 wide, not realizing I already had the 1 wide. All I needed to do was go ahead and move it over. But you can see we're at 14 blocks, 13 blocks, and just resources cutting in very quick. So we come over here to the side. We want to make sure that there's no way for them to get in. And since I can't break these white painted lines, I go ahead and emphasize putting more blocks behind, just so they don't look at that as a weakness spot, which you'll kind of see in a little bit. This is the side. This blocks them from getting in on that side, you know. And I'll end up having to come back later to do the sides right inside. A lot of insides. So this one, I just right off the bat broke down a block so I could hit both these and get rid of that, which made it a lot easier. It's just kind of a pain in the ass having to get rid of a block right there just to hit 2 paint lines, which you can clearly see. So I don't know why my guy went straight Riri mode and could not do this. But on this side, I was able to hit the white paint lines immediately. But here we are, able to set this horde base up. This side, of course, looks a lot cleaner. But we've run out of resources here. So what I'm mentioning now is what we're going to do is we're going to rush the trader. We haven't seen Trader Joel yet. We waited for him to reset. We waited to get more money. We got all that money. And now we can go over and hit him up. He may have cobblestone, but he's going to have a lot of other things we can buy. So we want to do all that right now and then kind of base our decisions from there on that. So you hit him up. I mentioned right here, I got 2 points. In the last of the episodes, I ended up getting agility, which is the freaking trend. So we got 8 points into agility now. We check out the trader right here. Sell off the few things we have to sell off. And now we're just looking over his inventory. The key things he has: handgun magazines, 5 of them, 2 bow hunter bows. If you remember, our handgun magazines is around 8 or 9 itself. So like my first thing I thought, as I buy a level 1 wrench, which is huge, and the gunpowder, not necessarily all for ammo. There's something else we're going to use that for. But I wanted to make sure I had enough of it, so I buy all that. I look around a little bit more to make sure I'm not missing anything, and then you'll see me go back and buy the forged iron and the books and the 25 crossbow ammo. But the books themselves, like, this is where the plan starts to come together and time starts to get a little crunched in the episode. Because you'll see me learn these books right here. I look for cobblestone, nothing. QQ a little bit, and then put all these books in. Primitive quality bow for, like, dude, we're just way too far in the bows for it to necessarily matter. But pipe pistol level 5. Pistols quality 1. And then pistol quality 2. So this is where my brain starts to turn. Is like, hey, we have a wrench now. We can start getting mechanical parts together and make a workbench. So we need to get back to the base, or we need to go knock that out, get as many mechanical parts as we need. We need 20. I also check the pistol. What does the pistol need? I see it needs scrap parts. And this isn't something that's necessarily hard to get, but it needs 10 of them. Guess how many I just sold to the trader? So I was like, they're going to be cheap to buy back. We don't need the money for anything else. Let's go ahead and buy that shit. So we buy back the scrap polymers. Now, from there, we look them over really quick again, and we're trying to devise a plan. The first thing we want to do is get our wrench on and start breaking shit down, because we need to get 20 as quick as we can. It's only 9:30 in the morning, but everything you're going to see, time, it gets a little crunched in there. Stop at the car, give it some hits. I didn't know how many mechanical parts I'd get from the car, and it's kind of easily seen that we got 4. So I was like, hey, this isn't going to work. Let's go break other shit down. We found a lot of these to where those give, like, for how long it takes, those, the gas pumps, even this, give more resources and give you more things than just the cars. So that kind of worked out. right, we got all the resources we needed, so now pretty much we're just making a mad dash home to go ahead and use all that. We got the workbench crafted, and from here we're crafting all the things we need. So we're going to get 9mm ammo. We're going to get the pistol crafted. And as you can tell, I thought of flaming crossbow bolts, which we learned that book quite a while ago. And you'll see here, I only end up putting one little crossbow bolt in there, but I catch it later to where we were able to do the 14. Now, the one thing I will say with crossbow bolts, and you'll kind of see that later, is Molotovs are so damn overpowered. But when it comes to things like the damn crossbow bolts, I know they're only going to hit one person, but I wish the fire kind of like spread more and did a lot more damage. I'm kind of showing out there that while it took 6 minutes for the workbench to craft, the entire time that's happening, I am just digging dirt. The entire time, clay, soil. Because if you look in the bottom right hand corner, we're having cobblestone being made, so we're going to be set there. In the forge itself, I was able to make a little bit of bullets, so that gave us 18 more from the resources from that forge. And then the last thing I look at is the barbed wire fence. And I think I kind of show it. I put here, and then you'll see like a time lapse of like all of a sudden it's like 18:30 or 7 o'clock. Yeah, it starts 18:16 right now. And this is where I'm starting to get a little panicked. We're still at the house. We haven't fixed the base up all the way. And I'm looking at if there's anything else I can do before I leave. The big thing here is we still have, like, I can't see how much time. I think it's 1 minute and 10 seconds left of just the crossbow bolts. So my thought process is to see if I can make these in my inventory. Which, gigantic ass spoiler alert. This was such a cool idea of just something to do right at the end to kind of make the base a little bit more beefy. I put them on my inventory when we get ready to run over there and forget all about them. So just a waste of time, essentially. So we got 3 more seconds of just one more crossbow bolt. Here's me grabbing the 100 frames I got out of a care package, thinking I may need those more than just something else. So I got everything together, and now it's time. Got the quick waypoint, and it's almost 1700. It is by the time we get there. Out of stamina, my lumpy ass can't make the jump, and this is where I start to get a little worried of like, hey, we really got to start to haul ass. It ends up not being as big as an issue as I thought, but during the episode, like, I'm frantically pacing, and you'll see me make quite a few little mistakes as this is going on of me putting things. Because I'm looking at it, I was like, man, I made 13 ass little cobblestone bricks. And looking at this, I'm like, that's going to be nowhere near enough. There's one of the little mistakes. But I want to make sure they don't have some cheeky, easy-ass way of jumping to the sides. So we knocked this all out with still 2 hours to spare. I don't really mention the candles earlier, but I bought a whole bunch of animal fat to make the fire, or to make the fire crossbow bolts. Well, I had way too much animal fat. So I made little lights, set the mood for you guys. Essentially, I want that slow burn, if you get what I mean. But I figured that would make it a little bit more bright, and all it would do is help you guys as the viewers. This was the last little thing I was doing before the end. As I was kind of sitting there, I was like, oh man, I got done with a ton of time. Let's build a little escape ladder just in case. Never use it. Forget all about it. Now I make a little bet with you guys of like, hey, if we find an egg in this nest, that means we're not dying tonight. So let's check. Boom. Egg. We're not dying, baby. Good evening, boys and squirrels. We started our agility journey cold, lost, and scared, waiting for the horde to inevitably kill us. But as the days faded, that scared, lost individual also faded, and all that remains was this bloodthirsty assassin, a man who went out of his way to pop a zombie's head off, not just to survive, but for fun. So with the horde fastly approaching, let us pray. No, not for us, but for the hundreds of zombies we're about to massacre. And now here, I pause it just for you guys. We ended up getting a point, and I was like, let's do it right now. What do we have to lose? It might be something awesome. Of course, freaking agility. 3 damn points to raise that shit. Now, one thing I will mention here is the amount of ammo this shit takes. In my head, we have more than enough ammo. But as you can see, we're already at 117 in ammo, and it goes pretty damn quick. There's a ton of zombies. So this is where, like, I'm really, like, stressing, like, how much I want to, like, make sure I'm headshotting zombies just to conserve it the best I can. And then you'll see soon me using the shit out of the crossbow and other forms and methods because it doesn't last us all night. That's for sure. That wraps up the horde to where we had 0 deaths. This went so well. I mean, there was a part in there where you see me just chucking on first aid bandages because someone broke through and just beat the shit out of me. But for the most part, this series, the agility only series, Randomizer, went so well compared to any of the others. We really were never in super danger and we were able to complete it. So the next big thing happening Monday is Intellect only, and that one I feel like is going to be the biggest pain in the ass because all we have is a melee weapon, really. I look into it, and book-wise, for the robotic turret, we gotta learn 39 books, so that shit ain't happening. 11 for the damn robotic sledge, so we gotta hope we get lucky and maybe find one at the trader, or we gotta haul ass through quests, but quests are gonna be so much harder without having any sort of weapon. But that wraps it up. I apologize again for the audio, but thank you so much for the support. Make sure to like and subscribe. Peace.